On the surface, she looked like an ordinary suburban wife, working to support children with mental health issues. But beneath that appearance lay a shocking story full of secrets. Fred Andros, a man with a shady past, was involved in all sorts of illicit activities. Things started to spiral when one of Fred's colleagues was shot dead right after a choir rehearsal. The gunshots echoed through the night, leaving the remaining members in shock. The subsequent investigation uncovered a series of explosive secrets, bribery, illicit affairs, and underground dealings. This was no random attack. The victim was clearly targeted. The entire town couldn't believe what was happening, and the name Dawn Silvernail quickly became the center of all gossip. She was not as ordinary as people had thought. The whole case played out like a dramatic opera in the heart of America, where the darkest secrets were finally brought to light. Pleasant Valley, New York, October 28, 1999. The choir rehearsal at the United Methodist Church had just ended, and 48-year-old Susan Fassett left as usual. She crossed the street, got into a car, but just seconds later, a series of gunshots tore through the quiet night. At first, the other choir members didn't pay much attention to the sound. But then, someone noticed Susan slumped over the steering wheel, blood spreading all over her body. They rushed to help, frantically calling for emergency services. But amid the panic, a few had caught a glimpse of the shooters disappearing into the darkness. This was no random attack. Susan Fassett had been targeted. And as the police began their investigation, they quickly realized that this case was only the tip of the iceberg. Behind Susan's death was a web of corruption, dangerously intertwined relationships, and dark sexual secrets no one had expected in such a quiet little town. Born in 1949, Dawn Mudge grew up along the Hudson River in Pleasant Valley, near the Catskill Mountains of New York. She was a true country girl, standing nearly 6 feet tall by the time she reached her teenage years. Her life seemed relatively uneventful. 2 years at a community college, marriage at 21, followed by a few years at home raising her son. However, Dawn was not just an ordinary housewife. She built her own career, working for a non-profit organization. Additionally, she was a passionate singer who frequently performed on the radio, delivering country western hits that had once topped the charts. On CB radio, she was known as Delta Dawn.